Alright, new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the best core breaker right now for the Open Great League, which is going to be Dunsparce. This Pokemon is kinda special because it is, I think, the only Pokemon, at least that I'm currently knowing, that breaks the current core of Trevenant, Noctowl, and the Lanturn. All of those Pokemon are currently in such a weird RPS core in the current meta. If you think about it, Lanturn wins against Noctowl, completely hard locks this Pokemon down. Noctowl wins against the Trevenant, completely hard knocks this Pokemon down, and then you have the Trevenant completely locking down the Lanturn without any chance for the Lanturn to win this matchup. Basically, this is the main meta core that you see in regionals, this is the main meta core that you see everywhere, and you can break them all kinda up with the Dunsparce. Of course, Dunsparce won't be able to break them all together, but it can win or can give you an advantage against all of them, as you're going to be able to resist the Shadow Claw from the Trevenant, which is going to be very nice, and Seed Bomb is not the strongest move. So you're always going to have an advantage for this Pokemon. You're going to have Drill Run, which is like super effective. I think also kinda two-shots the Lanturn. It's kinda close, but like I think with some more fast move damage you will be able to two-shot this Pokemon. And then you're going to have the Noctowl, which is going to be able to, of course, not really liking the rollout damage as well as the rock slide damage. So this Pokemon has play against all of those Pokemon, being a very, very great core breaker there for this trio, which is very commonly known and also commonly seen in the Go Battle League as well as those tournaments. Really not the biggest fan of the current meta. Like, honestly, I do understand everybody who is currently like, I might not want to play Go Battle League, or I don't really want to play Great League especially, because the meta is really, really RPS right now. There's not a lot that you can really do to break that apart, other than maybe running something like a Dunsparce, which has play against a lot of Pokemon. But yeah, there are of course always some drawbacks as well with that, because you don't really see Dunsparce too often. It's like a Pokemon that is very, very niche, but if you put it into the right niche, it's of course a very good Pokemon. Here we're going to encounter a double steel backline, which is not really nice. As yeah, like this Pokemon still, while you have super effective damage with Drill Run, you're going to see here as well, the opponent's Registeel Focus Blast does actually not knock you out, but does get you very, very low. You're still going to be able to go for some Drill Runs here, and you will be able to three-shot the opponent's Registeel, but they're gonna still get to another move in time, allowing us hopefully to farm down with our Trevenant. I don't know if this was the smartest decision, maybe I should have shielded actually. I have to still throw a charge move here. Going to be the Seed Bomb, of course, to knock out the opponent. As we're going to encounter now the Galarian Stunfisk, we can go for one more charge move here. Shadow Ball coming through, going to do some decent damage, and exactly because we didn't shield our Dunsparce, which would have been the smartest move that we could have done here, we're going to lose this battle here. Because if I shield the Dunsparce, my Dunsparce would have been at basically full health. I could have easily taken an Earthquake from the opponent. So this was definitely a game I could have won, but I just played it horribly. We see here Sableye against us. Very good for us, as we're going to be able to resist the fast move Shadow Claw here again, while basically putting them into a range where we can just go for Drill Run and not two-shot them, but I think I can farm them down after I hit the second Drill Run, which is really cool, making again Dunsparce a very good Pokemon. We see the Registeel coming back in here. We're going to be able to just go ahead and go for some more Drill Runs here. As we can see, they're going to do a ton of damage, and we can swap out into our what's called Trevenant here. Trevenant going to be able to just farm them all the way down. Trevenant has, of course, the ability to take all the moves from the opponent's Registeel, as we're going to encounter the Sableye. Going to snipe us here. Very smart decision by the opponent. I can go ahead and go for one more charge move here with our Dunsparce. Going to put them now into the range where I can farm them all the way down just with the rollout alone, which is going to be very decent for us. We're going to get a ton of energy. Return not going to knock us out. And now we're basically at 70 energy here, as you're going to be able to catch the move on our Medicham. Might have also not played that well there, maybe should have thrown the charge move, but we see now the Galarian Stunfisk going to forfeit there. So many double steel lines. We're going to encounter now a Nidoqueen in the lead. We will not be able to one-shot it with a Drill Run, but we're definitely going to threaten some shields here, and we're going to be able to take one move anyway. So we're going to have a very positive lead here in general, as this Drill Run coming through. This Drill Run going to do some decent damage here, and the Drill Run going to put them into range for another one, which will allow us, of course, to now either align or get the shield. I'm going to swap out here because I kind of want to get out a potential flying type in the back. As you're going to see the Poison Fang coming through from the opponent's Nidoqueen, we will be able to farm them all the way down, as you're going to encounter a Medicham coming in. So Medicham going to be able to go for one Psychic here, gonna get the defense drop as well, which is really nice. Maybe should have went for the Ice Punch instead, but I'm going to shield this move up for whatever reason. Honestly, don't know why. But I will be able to go for Ice Punch now. I guess maybe Ice Punch is now enough to knock them out. Let's see. We're going to get the shield from the opponent as we sadly lose the MP here. But we should put them into range where I can farm them down. Oh, never mind. It's going to be the Power-Up Punch. I kind of want to get the energy instead. And I think this was the worst play I could have done. Because if they have the... Okay. If they have a Noctowl in the back, I would have basically killed my own game there. So swapping out there didn't make sense at all. Please don't do this. Like, literally. Like, it didn't make any sense at all. But at least you're going to have, you know, the matchup again against the Sableye. Sableye Elite seems to be very common, usually with double steal in the back because it's going to be able to counter those fairy-type Pokemon. But let's see what we're going to encounter here. We're going to get the Drill Run off, which is going to get the shield from the opponent. We can go for another Drill Run here as well. And the opponent going to have to shield another time here if they want to survive, and they do have to shield. I can take the move here. It's going to be the return. I'm going to do a ton of damage, but we can go for another Drill Run eventually. Going to knock them out here while having a shield advantage, I think, and still some energy left, which is just really good as we encounter a Noctowl coming in. This is a tricky matchup here because we have to stay in here because I cannot really align my Noctowl, my Trevenant, of course, against this Pokemon, as I will be able to go for the Rock Slide here. But now I can swap out into the Medicham, farm them down, and I can keep the shield just in case I have something in the back where Trevenant is good against. Turns out they have a Lanturn, and a Lanturn is completely shut down by the Trevenant. And basically like this, if you win the lead with this team, you kind of RPS the opponent's backline because there's not a lot that they can do about this one. A little bit tricky against flying type Pokemon, but here as a safe swap you have Medicham, which will allow you to bait them out hopefully. So, yeah, next opponent we're going to encounter a Swampert and a Weezing. Weezing is, of course, a little bit of a trickier one here. Still, we can go for one Psychic. They're going to let this move go through as well, which is amazing for us. We're going to shield once and we're going to shield twice because I really need to realign my Pokemon here. And if they have Play Rough, I would go down here and I don't want to go down here. So I'm going to farm up extra, get the energy, and most likely going to get a shield back anyway. As we're going to encounter, sadly, the Noctowl here, but at least we're going to be able to align our Pokemon, which is the main thing here. Like, I really want to align my my Dunsparce against the opponent's Noctowl, because otherwise I'm going to have some problems. But still, this is not really ideal because the opponent has two shields. It doesn't really matter that I have a Trevenant here. As you can see here, the opponent can go for an Earthquake, and this Earthquake going to put me into range for one Hydro Cannon, and there is not a lot that I can do about this. I can see Impeta here with my opponent, but this should knock me out most likely, I guess. Does it? It does, and yeah, we're gonna go down here. Like, there's no lot that I can do about this anymore. Drill Run coming through. Drill Run not going to do too much damage here either, as they're going to shield this move up anyway. I'm going to go ahead and go for that charge move here. They can go for two Hydro Cannons to knock me out. I could go for a Drill Run here, but I didn't. Don't think it would have knocked them anyway. And they're going to swap out now into the Noctowl, and there's not a lot that I can do there. Pretty sure the Drill Run wouldn't have knocked a Swampert from that range. A Shadow Swampert maybe, but like not this kind of Swampert there, so didn't really matter too much. Next opponent, we see a Ninetales in the lead. Pretty decent for us, as we see now Umbreon coming in. Umbreon is a little bit tricky because they're going to win the zero shit scenario here. Unless they're just gonna go straight for Last Resort for whatever reason they do that. Because Last Resort does less damage per energy than Foul Play. I don't know why they go for Last Resort here. Still, might force me to use one shield here, but honestly, it's not really that important. Like, yeah. I had to use one shield anyway. It doesn't really matter if they go for two of those moves, but like now I have way more energy than I would have had otherwise, so thanks for that, I guess. Could have went for the bait first, should have went for the bait first, because now I can go for the Ice Punch here now, but they're going to, of course, let this move go through, because there is no way in hell that this would be anything else than the Ice Punch. And now we're going to encounter an Azumarill in the back, double Fairy team from the opponent here, so we're going to be able to take one Ice Beam from the opponent as well. And the Seed Bomb is coming through here, so well now, this looks pretty decent for us at this current point, as we're going to be able to go ahead and go for another Seed Bomb here. The Seed Bomb should get either the knockout or the shield, and we're going to get not even the knockout, but we can go for one more fast move, get the knockout, and get the Seed Bomb through, which is amazing, because we're going to be able to get them even lower. And now they might be even in range for the farm down range there, but we're just gonna go ahead and go for two Rock Slides, which will also seal the deal there, as we're going to be able to knock them all the way out. Next opponent, we're going to see a Noctowl against us. This Pokemon, of course, it will not like our Rock Slides. I think it can still actually win this matchup here, which is really awkward, but at least Rock Slide can two-shot the opponent, which is nice, so maybe we're actually fine here. I think we're fine. We will be able to go for another fast move and then for the Rock Slide, which should nearly knock them out. Let's take a look at this one. It gets shielded, and that's pretty okay for us because you can just mirror the shield. We're always going to come out of this matchup ahead because we have basically the same energy for the charge move, like Sky Attack is 45, Rock Slide is 45, Duron is 45. But I generate slightly more energy than they do with my fast move compared to their fast move, so I will always have a little bit of an advantage here while they go ahead and go into their Medicham, forcing out my Trevenant here, kind of telling me that they might have a Lanturn in the back. That would definitely make a lot of sense. I will be able to go for one Shadow Ball here now to knock out the opponent's Medicham, and they're gonna go ahead and go, of course, back into their flying bird there, their Noctowl, which allows me to go for one Shadow Ball here, which should put them very low. Let's see. It does get the knockout here actually with one more fast move. And as I said, it was a Lanturn in the back. I'm not really surprised about this one here. Yeah, Lanturn that definitely does make sense. You kind of want to get out the potential grass type, of course, with the say swap of your Medicham there, so it does definitely make a lot of sense to go for that one. Next opponent we're going to encounter is Sableye, very good fast. We're going to encounter Registeel, also decent fast, but we kind of want to swap out eventually here. As we can go for one Drill Run, we should go for one more fast move and then swap out into our Trevenant. It's still going to be an awkward matchup because the opponent can debuff me here, and they do debuff me here immediately, and as you can see here already, I can take 2 Zapcans, but I cannot go for 2 moves then. So they're going to shield up the next move as well. It doesn't really matter too much though, because we will be able to just shield up anything that comes our way as well. And we can just go ahead and go for another charge move here. We should be fine, and I really want to realign because you know, of course, that our Pokemon in the back, our Medicham, is not as good against their lead there. So we're going to shield this move up as well as we're going to encounter the opponent not swapping out yet. I can go for one Seed Bomb, have a Seed Bomb stored, and this should be pretty fine for us. We should be able to still get to a one Shadow Ball here, and this Shadow Ball is coming through, going to hopefully knock them all the way out. And it does knock them out, but like it puts them into range for one Drill Run, which is all that I really wanted anyway. And we see the Bastion coming in, which kind of lets me to win this game here anyway. They cannot do anything about this. Again, another double steel team, what a surprise. This next opponent, I actually know him. I only know him because he always tags me when he wins against me, but never tags me when he loses against me. So let's see if he's going to tag me after this battle. We're going to see here the Trevenant against us, as we're going to be able to shield this move up. Going to be a Seed Bomb, fine for me. I can take him just out with fast moves alone. And I will be able to get my shields back here anyway. I think this is a signature team that he runs for several seasons already with Shadow Mawile as the lead. But yeah, let's see if we're going to be able to come out here with some success. We will be able to go for another charge move here. Shadow Ball coming through, going to get the shield, and we can go back into our good boy Dunsparce. They're gonna go ahead and go for the Iron Head, and they're going to swap out now into the Azumarill, where we have to retaliate with a Medicham, which is not ideal. Definitely not what I want to see here. And also I kind of make a mistake here as well, as far as I know, as I'm going to have to go ahead and go for one Psychic, going to get them low. But I should have went for the Ice Punch coming up now, because I don't get to the Psychic myself now. They can knock me out here. It's going to be the Ice Beam. And I can overfarm a lot, but I kinda am forced to throw another charge move pretty close afterwards. So I can only go for 2 more, go for my Drill Run now. This will knock them out, but if I had the Ice Punch down already, I think I would have put them into farm down range. Like this, we're still going to get to another Drill Run here, and you're going to see the sweep of Dunsparce. And yeah, I didn't get attacked sadly after this battle. What a shocker. We will see here a Bombers now in the lead, as we're going to encounter now the Swampert coming in. Very good matchup for us now. Swampert Say Swap is definitely always a little bit risky, as the Hydro Cannon going to do basically no damage against me. I can see CMP against them, and I will be able to knock them out with a one more Seed Bomb. That's going to easily secure the knockout against the Swampert, as we're going to encounter most likely a Bomber Snow coming back in here. They're actually going to throw the charge move. I thought they might want to just shield once and farm me down, but I will be able to go ahead and go into my Medicham, which is the better matchup anyway. They might just have the Sableye in the back, which is very common, but no, they're going to have the Lanturn, which also will not appreciate the Drill Run. And you see already how great of a core breaker the Dunsparce actually can be. There are a lot of scenarios where you just beat the team hard with this Pokemon, as you have Drill Run and a Rock Slide available for you. Very cool Pokemon, really enjoyed using it. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video as well. Now we will be able to easily win this game here, as we can just go ahead, let this move go through as well. But we still have our Medicham, which will be able to knock them all out with Psychic, with Counter. This is not going to be too crazy. But yeah, this is a very cool team that you can use as well. Very fun one, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye!